Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a great day. Taking one more look here at Cardano, seeing what's going on. Awesome push here. Take a look at this. Local high, 81 cents. Current high, roughly 115. Came right up to that 1.618 fib level and pulled right back. That's a very common retracement area. Any 0.618 fib level, you're going to see that. So it's not a guarantee as to exactly why that happened, but volume's still high. No reason to short into this. Just know that that is kind of a present situation here. Clear and present danger, if you will. The fair value gap is pretty sizable, though, so there's possibility of seeing that filled. That's only if Bitcoin decides it wants to run back down, though, okay? At this point, Cardano's looking very strong, so please recognize this increased amount of volume. We're still maintaining that moving average, looking very good. So nothing to be, I would say, super concerned with, but if you are in profit, you should just adjust your stop loss higher. I don't see why people are super uber greedy with leverage trades, because you recognize, and people probably don't even know this, is that the longer you hold on to a leverage trade, the more you spend on fees. So some people that are holding on, showing how great they are with a 500% return with a 50x leverage trade, sometimes they hold it for months, and they literally, when they cash out, they get very little, and it's almost hilarious in a way. Anyways, just kind of throwing it out there. Please, just learn from those things. If you know that and you're still posting results like you're a badass, I think you got different priorities those priorities need to change. Anyways, conversation for another day. Cardano, last 12 hours, we can see here there's more liquidation on the upside than the downside. 108 to 110, we could see the price action recover back up there. That's under the impression Bitcoin maintains its current range, though. Please, folks, we got a short open at 98,000 for Bitcoin, currently in profit. We're at the low 97K range here. There's a chance we may see 96 or 95. Not trying to scare you, just throwing it out there that there's some bearish divergences on Bitcoin that could play out. It's still too early, though. Honestly, it's not like a full-on confirming like, hey, we got to short this coin right now. It's mostly just there's some cracks in the glass. Let me just show you really quick so you understand what I'm talking about. Because understanding how Bitcoin works is really important. When you see here, there's a significant divergence under the 20-day SMA, and as a matter of fact, if you look here as well, in my trade alert, actually I sent this out. We have a rising wedge and a double top pattern. So those things do have a tendency of breaking down further. Either way you look at it, congrats to our community members for some nice profits on Cartesi, 63% in 4 days, Tau, 2 days, 32%, and of course our AVAX trade, 42% in 1 day. While these aren't monumental trades, they are 5x leverage trades that are simple and easy, and no concern with liquidation. So if you're ever worried about liquidation, you're trading wrong. Let's take a look here. Last thing we want to look at, because again, this larger time frame doesn't really, it's hard to kind of identify where liquidation levels are at. I mean, obviously 116, that's the highest point above the current high. But what's important, I think, is to look at liquidation delta. And this tells us we have a lot more people taking longs than shorts. That's a good sign. It doesn't mean the price can't pull back. It just shows we have more strength. If this maintains itself for too high for too long, which again, that's what Bitcoin is doing, just to give you perspective, this is Bitcoin's liquidation delta. It's at 10 billion, and it has been for 3 days straight. That's too much for too long. It's usually going to pull back because of that, which it is, right? This is still a little early. I don't think we're having any cause for concern here, because that number's also tapering off, because some longs are getting liquidated, but some longs are also probably taking profits too, and that's a good part of it. Anyways, daily time frame is going to look super solid, folks. We talked about this yesterday. The likelihood of breakout. While I didn't expect 114, I was anticipating the 81 cent range to be broken. So that in itself is good. You can kind of see this double top here, or more importantly, it's more like a handle or a. Anytime you retest level twice, that second time it's common for it to break through, especially after it revisits it from previous time frames. So a lot of the reasons are there. If you saw my video, you'll know what I was talking about. But generally speaking, we're expecting this kind of breakout, just probably not quite as strong as it was, okay? And honestly, yesterday, Bitcoin dominance dropped really hard. A lot of altcoins surged, and Bitcoin just went sideways. It was kind of cool. Anyways, at this point, 4-hour time frame, we're above all moving averages. We're still respecting this nice little trend line here. You can see a pretty clear continuation pattern here. So until we break below that, we have no real cause for concern. That's just a simple way to understand it. When we look at the 4-hour time frame here, this is a take profit signal, though. Please, if you ever watch my videos, or maybe you don't know, when the RSI crosses over 70, you wait for it to cross back under 70 and then secure profits. And here's the reason why that's relevant. Because if you look here, when the RSI crossed over 70, it was right here. So, like a conservative trader, which I consider myself to be one, would essentially take profits right there at 86 cents. The price continued way higher, and obviously, if you were to close right now, you'd still be up an additional 20%. So even me as a conservative trader, I wait until the RSI comes back under 70, and the main reason why is because you get a lot more profit 9 times out of 10. There's rare occasions where it doesn't work out, but as long as you move your stop loss higher, folks, you're gonna always walk away in the green. Okay. Again, you don't move the stop loss like super close. You keep a good range. You find a good risk tolerance that works best for you, and always move it into the green at the very least, just so you ensure you can walk away with some profit. Nothing worse than leaving profit on the table. And there's nothing wrong with taking profit early too, folks. By the way, it's way better than nothing at all. Okay. Try not to be a super greedy trader. It's not the market for it. While the fear and greed index is super high, and that basically just means you want to sell, for lack of better terms, it's still something you got to be very careful with. Okay. Last but not least, in the hourly, we can see here that the lagging span is starting to intersect with the price action. It's getting really close. That's signal number 1 to let you know to maybe consider securing profits. So when I see that and I see the RSI at 70 or below on the 4-hour after having spent a long time above, I'm generally going to walk away in the green. So 103 seems like a good take profit target. While the price could absolutely pivot and bounce off here, this is a Fibonacci retracement level. We're still over the cloud. A lot of reasons why the coin will still continue higher. From a safer standpoint, securing profits now makes a lot of sense. Okay. Outside of that, how much further could this coin run? Well, I don't think it's going to run too much further unless we range bound. So if we can range here for a little while, maybe see a bullish rectangle. A lot of coins are breaking out after being in a bullish rectangle or bearish rectangle. For example, SUI, bearish rectangle, breakdown, solid breakdown. Okay, again, these are just common characteristics, right? So at this point, it doesn't make a ton of sense to try to short into this just because A, we haven't broken this range, but B, mainly this coin has a lot of profit left too. So it does have a propensity to pull back. But the current market we're in right now, you want to be careful shorting coins, right? So again, there's just a lot of things to consider, but at this point, Cardano could and should pull back. So it's probably best to secure profits. However, if it continues to maintain this range, obviously there's a more likelihood of the price going higher. So we'll see in a while, obviously, what happens there. Between now and then, it's a little too early to speculate. The reason why I personally feel like we're not going to see a tremendous amount of upside is because we've already tested our 1.618 fib level on this local extension here. So it just makes sense for the price to kind of range either between 103 and 114 for a little while. If so, that's great. That would be more likely to go up. If we lose this range, we may be trending back towards the 80 to 95 cent range. There's a possibility of that. So pay attention to Bitcoin, see what's going on. We'll go from there. Either way, I'll post a playout chart on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord to reflect these, this chart here. I don't try to spend a lot of time updating the charts while I'm trying to help educate you on how to best interpret them. If you want to become a better trader, of course, I got a trading academy, community, and signals group. CryptoCash.tech is a site. Or more important, join us over at Bitunix, folks. Nice progressive prize pool, 60K. Next 5.5, basically 6 days of trading, you can qualify top 20 traders. Basically get some decent funds there. The main takeaway here is there's no KYC or VPN for the U.S., Canada, the majority of people in the world. With this exchange, they're fantastic, phenomenal. They've been really great to us. So thank you again. I look forward to working with you. Either way you look at it, have yourself a great rest day and a wonderful rest of your weekend. Take care.